San Diego Comic-Con Hall H on a Saturday at the Warner Bros. DC panel, and they got us a new look at Shazam Fury of the Gods, a whole new trailer, and also Black Adam. What about Superman? Deadline, you son of a... Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. That's right, the Warner Bros. DC panel is over. And they got us two good looks at the two next DC movies. The first one was Shazam Fury of the Gods. Zachary, Levi, and team came up on stage to show us the very first trailer for Shazam Fury of the Gods. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this new trailer. You can definitely see that the budget is higher than before. You've got a lot of special effects, you got higher stakes, and what looks to be a lot more action set pieces, including better CGI'd monsters. You can also feel the heart and emotion for these kids growing up and wondering what to do with themselves, wondering who they're supposed to be. Definitely Billy is searching for the answers of where his place is in the world, or even in the hero world. And it was kind of cool that they put in some shots from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Okay, it's not exactly Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's from the Justice League trailers, but it was before Joss Whedon touched it. You see a shot of the Flash, even though you don't see his face. You also see Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and then you get a really clear look at Ben Affleck as Batman. Then we are introduced to the villains of the story played by Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, and there also is a little bit of Rachel Zegler, and Djimon Hounsou returns as the wizard Shazam. And I definitely love where Shazam kind of teases the whole Fast and Furious with Helen Mirren sitting right there, because she is in the Fast and Furious franchise. It's all about family. That part was hilarious. And of course, the kids all coming up and becoming the Shazam family. It's really awesome. So this movie definitely looks like another cool family fun adventure. Then Dwayne The Rock Johnson shows up at Hall H, lifting up from the floor. This is an incredible intro. Very much like a wrestling match with the smoke and lightning in the background. It was amazing. But then this is when they presented a new look at Black Adam. And I like that the focus is more on the action this time around, which looks pretty badass. You see him shooting lightning out of his hands, explosions galore, and very much more looks at the Justice Society. You got Dr. Fate even trying to take down Black Adam. You got Cyclone, who's also trying to take down Black Adam. You got a lot of looks at Adam Smasher. And then you finally got Hawkman trying to take down Black Adam. In which I would say this trailer is really focused on the Black Adam versus everyone. And I don't know if that's the entire movie, because it does seem like he would probably team up with him to fight something else. But at this point in time, this trailer is just focusing on that Black Adam woke up and he's wreaking havoc. But no matter how crazy those two trailers were, the fans want to know, where's Superman? And it didn't help that Deadline put this out a few days ago. There's also buzz that Henry Cavill will put in a surprise appearance to talk up more Superman, getting everyone, including myself, excited to see Henry Cavill come up on stage to announce and talk about more Superman. Now, I did say in that video that it could be wrong and I would be discouraged and more disappointed. That actually happened. In fact, because I wasn't going to be at home this morning, I actually prepared two thumbnails in order to talk about it outside. The first one was going to be a Superman Returns, and I had my phone ready, I was going to talk about it, and the other thumbnail was like, no, well, Cavill didn't show up. But I was so heartbroken that he didn't show up, I decided not to do that video and just put it all in this one. But all that hype actually worked against the whole DC panel, because everybody was expecting Superman, or at least even teasing of Superman, to the point that even fans asked about Superman in both panels. Levi director David F. Sandberg are asked during the Q&A about any cameos, maybe a certain red-caped guy in the movie? Both waffle, play the crowd, deflect. Sandberg then says, that's a spoiler, there's a lot going on in the movie, is all he says. I've seen the test screening reactions for Shazam Fury of the Gods, and I can say that according to those test screenings, and just those test screenings, Superman's not in it. There's somebody else though, but it's not Superman. A fan even asked Dwayne The Rock Johnson about Superman during the Black Adam panel.
That's a great question, Luke. Don't threaten me with a good time because I'm going to answer that question right now. I will say, as you guys know, because we're all in deep with this mythology, and it's been the age-old question of who would win in a fight between Black Adam and Superman. Pound for pound, they're pretty close. I guess it probably all depends on who's playing Superman. I will just say that. So I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that, and we'll just go with that one.
Having a no Superman in DC certainly doesn't do DC any favors. Superman is DC, like there is no DCEU without Superman. And seriously, I was so bummed out that this never happened, even though I prepared mentally that it wouldn't happen, because that would be a dream come true. So what happened? Usually Deadline doesn't talk about rumors and buzz unless it actually has something to it. But in this case, nothing. What happened to Henry Cavill? According to a Scoop reviewer Non, it's all a game of the he said and she said, but I've been told on multiple occasions that Henry Cavill isn't Superman right now because Henry is unwilling to come back. I don't know what Warner Bros. Terms are that he isn't happy with, but the studio has asked him back on multiple occasions. Maybe they aren't offering enough money. Maybe he wants more creative control and they're unwilling to budge. I honestly have no idea. I've heard a dozen reasons from a dozen people. I was hoping the San Diego Comic-Con rumors were true, that they'd come to an agreement and he'd live stream in front of the set of The Witcher. Alas. Another Scooby Look Upon the Stars says, will repeat, the guy wants more money, plus better deal, movie, creative control. But yes, Warner Brothers is really not the problem. Henry Cavill wants his own movie and creative control, which, honestly, I think a lot of the other DC heroes got the same thing. I'm sure Jason Momoa had a say in how his movie is going to turn out. Gal Gadot probably also has a say in her movies as well. And the fact that each of them get another solo movie is key here. It's a difficult situation because if Henry Cavill comes out and says that, hey, I'm only going to be Superman if I get more money, he's going to look like an asshole. Warner Bros. Discovery comes out and says, hey, we don't want Henry Cavill because he's asking too much money, then they're going to look like an asshole. Comicbook.com got to catch up with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and ask him about Henry Cavill. And his answer does kind of seem like there is a battle to get Henry Cavill back as Superman.
Henry's a buddy, and he is a phenomenal Superman. Is the Superman of our generation, with respect to the other Supermans in the past. And every time I see him, we have some tequila, I always say, that's Superman. And these guys will attest to that. So my longtime business partner, Danny Garcia, who who's his sister, she has been a passionate advocate for Henry Cavill and his career. For a very, very long time. So the reason why I say all that is because you got a lot of people who advocate on Henry's behalf and root for him to win. And I do root for him to win. And at the end of the day, he is a phenomenal Superman.
So it just makes DCEU a Superman-less property, which is very insane. And you know what? Yes, I am upset and disappointed that there is no mention of Superman, when Superman's going to show up, if Henry Cavill shows up. All that is disappointing. But the other thing that's pretty bad about this DC panel is that, yeah, they showed footage of 2 movies that look incredibly awesome and great that's coming out this year, but the overall DC panel just felt so lackluster. Feels like they do not have confidence in the other movies that they already shot and already announced. Like, I didn't need them to have full-on panels of Aquaman the Lost Kingdom or The Flash if they're having PR issues with Amber Heard or Ezra Miller. At the very least, they could have showed a sizzle reel of, hey, look, this is DC. We are awesome. We are confident in our product. This is what we have to offer. Now, they could have just showed The Flash, Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, Batgirl, Blue Beetle. Heck, they could have even had Matt Reeves come on stage and talk a little bit about The Batman 2. Like, where is that little sizzle reel, that preview, that slate? So instead of coming out ahead at San Diego Comic-Con and showing confidence in their products, showing confidence in DC, they decide to say, you know what, we're just going to show the 2 movies that are coming out this year, and, we'll figure out how to show Aquaman 2 and the Flash movie and, the other stuff later. Man, I gotta say, it's just really hard to be a Superman fan right now. Yeah, we got Superman and Lois, but kind of looking at more Superman in the movies. But hey, at least Zack Snyder's in Teen Titans Go. That's really cool. Alright, what did you think about this year's San Diego Comic-Con DC panel? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.